Wow. Set up together. Card. Hair attached. You know when you have like a hair that's attached to like a piece of your clothing, but it's like a single one, and you just gotta move your head and then it like clicks off. Oh, I feel like that could be to do with this reading. Okay. Oh, I have a candle. I wonder if I can place him somewhere that can be seen. The radiator's on. I haven't developed my, what's that called? Kinetic abilities? I haven't developed the ability to like place this in the air and then it'd stay. Just for me. The area of the room is kind of dark too, so the candle is like cute. Okay. Oh, I set up the camera as if I was gonna be more up. That's fine. I'm a bit of a mover, so I'll probably end up changing position anyway. Okay, I'm thinking this is gonna be a narcissism. Pick a card, but we shall see. You probably know. Probably. Okay, so I still have 3 crystals to choose from for groups though. Do I speak at the start? No, let's get straight into it. Okay, this is pile number 1, Shiva Lingam. This is pile number 2, a green aventurine. And this is pile number 3. I needed to make my voice go really high for that part. Who is pile number 3? Fairies? Amethyst. Probably, you know, yes, it is amethyst. So those are the piles. Hope you can hear me when I'm speaking a bit quieter than usual, but also I think I'm further from the camera. I don't like hardly ever film in the same place. Actually, that's not true. For a very long time I filmed in the same place. Those are your piles. Haha. Perfect. Okay. 1, 2, 3. The third pile is even like on a bit of a ramp on my carpet thing. Okay. I'm in a bit of a feminine energy. Like, I wouldn't usually film in this energy. I'm in a bit of like a peripheral, not like masculine. I'm in more of like but I kept getting like an intuitive let's do it. I still feel so. Let's get a card for the present collective. I never get, that's not true. I was gonna say I never get the urge, I guess at least as strongly as I do to channel sound as when I'm doing readings. It's like I suddenly can't do anything but sound healing or sound. I still don't really know what to call it. Everything is healing if you really think about it. And if you really don't think about it, then it's probably more something. I'm just questioning whether I speak about that a thing around perspective. I think I don't, but I do have a perspective card. So if that comes out, then I'll speak about it. and that's in this deck, but maybe I won't even use this deck because I never do this, but I have buttons on this and I button them up. Usually it just like flopples. So it could be something about a very purposeful direction. It's like, I had the tide. The tide has been cut off in certain areas to stop you from going somewhere. It's like, you know, those like little coves that you can sometimes find on beaches where you can get there when the tide is out, but you can't when the tide is in. It's like you wanted to go to the cove maybe, but the tide was in, so you couldn't yet. But I feel like the whole point is like, it's not a yet, it's a, you're not supposed to go to that tide, that cove, and the tide being in when you went to try is just showing you that it wasn't time. No, okay, maybe it is just wasn't time, but I was trying to say that that wasn't meant at all. Okay, let's get a card for it. Is it about time or is it about, ooh, we should use that deck. Is it an indefinite no or a present no? Is it a forever no or is it a wait and see? I saw the beach card. Okay. This is the one with perspective. Tears. That just looks like the ocean. Oh, is the lighting not going to be good for showing cards on this? Good enough. Okay, tears. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Wait. I was gonna say, like having a stand beside you, so it's like you can still do face. I can still speak to you like this, but also you can see the cards. If only this part was higher up, or this part was lower down. There could be something about that. In the first instinct is the more obvious one, but there's a shift in perspective, and actually something can be lowered instead of needing to hire something else. That just kind of feels like the no of the tide thing, of instead of you thinking you don't have wings, it's just that you've got an anchor attached. I will get this to, I will. I don't think you can see that. Okay. I do like that there's a little, you can see my plants though. Okay. See if we'll at all get the perspective or beach. Ooh! I also have a time card. See, I'm getting a lot of the similar, like, understandings or messages. Like, I can see things that I could be saying and explaining around the present energy. But because I'm in that, like, peripheral feminine energy, not the masculine of, like, communication, I'm kind of ignoring half of, or, like, 90% of them because I'm too tired. Oh, I'm wanting to cry now. Maybe some of you really need to know that it's okay to be too tired to do something and to simply allow what you feel in alignment in doing to be okay. Because I started to cry then. I didn't start to cry. I wanted to cry then. And we had tears. It could definitely also be that you're feeling a lack from that boundary or from that no to something, and there's a call to allow that to be difficult, allow yourself to cry about it, essentially. Because I think for a lot of you that might be grounding it, so it could be something that's more kind of cloudy, you haven't really solidified in it, and allowing yourself to feel any emotions that come up surrounding a no or surrounding a detour allows it to become more real. Yeah. I want to note that I was feeling far more like everywhere, but now that I've really got into it, I'm feeling more a sense of peace, a sense of groundedness. It's kind of giving the energy of like hysterical crying to like you're just in the sniffles. Like the part after you've been crying, you know, at the start, if you're like crying a ton, it's like you can't breathe at the start, but then as it goes on, you remember like, oh, I can breathe again. It's like you remember your breath. I feel like that's going on here. You're remembering your breath, or you have remembered your breath. Oh, you really need to cry. But it's also okay, even if you feel like you need to cry but you can't. Yeah, some of you may feel like you're blaming yourself for your inability to really process what you're experiencing. And I think that might be from an avoidance of what you're actually experiencing, in that you're like on the edge, perhaps, instead of really leaning into the experience. Yeah, and that's coming from the mind. Okay, realization, 37. Yeah, it feels like a new thing, like you've unlocked something. The tears card makes me think of an unlocking of sorts. With that message, it could also be that you're not fully with clarity of what it is you really unlocked. And that's what the message again before was about. Just allowing yourself to feel it regardless allows you to process it, and allows it to become more real and to bring clarity to it. Okay, so realization says, I needed to say something else then. Like when I said realization is, the belief card is like the card for me of this deck. He always likes to show himself for me. So it could be something around that. And fertility is beneath that. Something very prosperous, very abundant, of like it's always there or always has been there, but you haven't had access to it because of this thing that is needing to be acknowledged more fully, more really. Yeah, you may have realized something as of late. And maybe there's a slight adjustment from a tendency to go into your mind to try and see it, but you're not able to see it because you're being asked to feel it, to accept it. That word accept didn't work for some of you. So allow it, or accept the truth of it. It doesn't need to, like, there's something that could be something you don't want to accept, and that's the point is to accept the non-acceptance of it then. Yeah, I feel like that clicked for some. Okay. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of a heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Yeah, becoming aware of our heart-centered truth. And again, that heart message feels like it's going with the tears. Now I'm seeing Tia is a character in something. In, not Iruma, it's an anime, slime, I don't remember the name. But Tia is like he's like a puppet kind of character. Okay, I'll say my emotions surrounding him at this point. My perspective is that he's supposedly an evil character, but we love him. And maybe he starts off as more evil, but then you really find more understanding, more compassion, more heart connection. So it could be something, this thing could have started off as more of an anger towards it, or them. There could have been a lot, there could have been a need, like quote unquote need, to create distance or to create like a malevolence. Maybe perhaps you needed, quote unquote needed, to view them as wrong or evil perhaps, in order for you to create that distance. And this tears is bringing you back to that heart. It's like you remembered who they were, or you remembered your love for them. You remembered why you needed to distance in the first place, why you needed to have like a hardness surrounding them, because that was your protection. It's like you wouldn't need to say, hey, I need to distance myself, if it wasn't something that you wanted to be close with, if there wasn't a draw in. So now I think you've come back to a state of letting go, because you're no longer afraid that you will fall back. Okay. Yeah. I cut to solar plexus. The frequency of solar plexus supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution to the world, what our contribution is to the whole. I wanted to say the world, but it was more like an entire other sentence, like, I don't know, something to do with your relationship with the world. You're seeing the world now. It could have been that you were feeling trapped in this no. I'm seeing the image now of also like you were actually in that cove, and then the tide went out and you walked around and you witnessed the world, and then the tide came in and you're no longer able to go back. You'd have to wait where you are in order for the tide to go back out, and then you could go back into where you've come from. Okay, I think that makes more sense as to why I was kind of like not really getting like a, is it about waiting or is it about forever? Because it's not really either. Because I was viewing it from starting out and going in as opposed to starting in and going out. There's a message for some of you. It's like, if they come with you out of the cove, yes, but if they stay in the cove, do you really want to walk back to that cove? Do you want to like go into the limited experience of the world? Yeah, there feels like a strong sense of you've done it. However, there's a closing, a gentle closing that's ongoing. There's like that grounding. It's like it's grounding still. This is I was just getting cards to see if I should speak about my experience, because this is going hand in hand with a realization of my own, and that's why I was saying this could be to do with narcissism, because that's something that has been on my mind as of late, primarily to do with my mother. So I had a very on-off relationship with her, in always some, it's annoying to admit, but I was always somewhat unsure whether I really wanted her out of my life or not. For a long time I live with my mum, but and I consider her a narcissist, but for a long time, even though I knew in my mind and I had told her that I wasn't going to be in contact with her when I leave this house, what really kept me in this house energetically has been the attachment to her still. It's the attachment to staying small, to staying stuck. So recently I realized that, and I was like, that's why I'm still here. Because I had never really admitted what the truth was. I had never really made it never felt okay for me to admit that she was narcissistic, and I didn't want that. I always had an openness towards her. And I still love her, but now it's from a space of I'm not afraid to love her anymore, because before I was in the middle section I was afraid to love her, because I knew from experience, my own personal experience, that opening my heart to her more fully meant falling back into the trap of being in close connection with her, or closer in connection with her, and I knew that that wasn't healthy for me for a lot of time. I would go back and forth in questioning that, because I couldn't ever see clearly the dynamic, because with narcissism, a lot of it is very difficult to pinpoint. I guess I'll speak from personal experience. Personally, it's been very difficult to pinpoint because it's all like actions. To me, it seems like it's all actions that can be perceived as loving, but you have to kind of trust your gut that you don't feel that they're loving. So it's not like for example, just the words for me, my mother saying I love you, it can not feel like I love you, even if those words are seemingly very loving. So I had to trust my gut with a lot surrounding her, that actually her brain, the way she, and a lot of my other narcissistic experiences, the way that they see you have seen me, has been through the lens of like caring for me, not for me, but caring for me for them. So it's like they're not really caring for me. So anyway, that heart opening felt like it's finally safe for me to, I feel confident in having my love for her, and it's not really something I've logically done mostly. It's more of a process that's just kind of come to this when I really admitted to her being narcissistic. It allowed me to process the emotions of grief, but guess I'll say process my emotions surrounding that. I can't remember what I was going to say. But yeah, the heart opening. I feel safe in having love for her because I feel so back from her now. It's like not gonna happen. Not letting her in again, or that whole energy, which for me includes lots of people from my past. Because for a long time, even if I was in a no energy towards them, it was always with like an open heart behind of like, okay, but if you change, then I'm right here waiting for you. So I guess it was kind of like with that cove analogy. I guess I had, for the most part, walked outside of the cove, but I was just waiting. I was waiting for the tide to go out and for them to come round. Because it's like, I had walked around, I could see that they could walk around. I could see that they have that path in front of them that they could walk. But they wouldn't walk it. It's like, it always felt so close, like it's just there, come on. Or like it always felt like I was waiting. It feels like a card for that to show. I feel like I didn't get at that heart opening part. Oh, it was so cool the other day though, because when I'd had like a strong realization around it with my mum, not like with her, but like surrounding my mum, and then later in the day, or the day after, she brought up something with me. She asked me if I was okay, saying that I hadn't been like laughing. She hadn't heard me making noise since she got back from like a small trip, which was really funny to me because I knew for a fact that I had been making just as much. She said she hadn't heard me laughing or singing, and I knew that I had been laughing a lot because I'd been watching something really funny. So it was so funny to me to see that. And I had told her like a billion times. It's like a crazy amount of times to not ask me about my feelings, because I don't want to share that with her. But she asked again, and it was so funny. Like, it happened just after I had a huge realization, and basically I had drawn my energy back from her, and I was in like okay, I'm definitely never seeing her again. I'm definitely, like, when I leave. Or that's like the energetic standpoint I had was, my energy is not open to you. And then she felt that, and it's like I could feel during the conversation, the very brief conversation, her grasping at me, and it was such a relief for me, because it was like, oh, I was right, like like she really was taking from my energy. I could really feel the difference. I mean, she could energetically sense the difference, because the whole point of me saying about the noise, the laughter, the singing thing, was that practically everything was the same, but energetically she felt it, so that's what she was picking up on. And it was also interesting and very clarifying that when I told her I'm not going to answer her question, that she, the word koina, she kind of threw like a mini fit. Like, she how do I put this into words? I told her no, and she responded with like an, oh, so you're not going to adhere to my feelings, or like, oh, so you're really gonna make me feel like that, are you? And then she asked, can I rephrase it? Like, can I rephrase the question to get you to answer it? And I'm like, no. And then the day after, she messaged me, and that was really interesting for me to observe, because I had a moment of like, oh wait, is this being loving? Like, because it's again the thing of like, she's asking, I'll explain that in a bit, but the whole point is I want to get across is like, with narcissism, it's often so like covert, I think that's the word. It's not always easy to recognize, and it often makes you question if you're the one in the wrong. Like, she made it out that I was wrong, at least emotionally made it out that I was wrong for not sharing my feelings with her. She made me wrong for that. And I think there's a lot of there tends to be a lot of rejection wounds and abandonment wounds with narcissists. They feel like they feel as though anyone not giving to them, so like me saying no, I'm not going to give you how I'm feeling, that's taken, she takes that as a rejection of herself. Because for me at least, it was an enmeshment situation, so she sees me as an extension of her. So for me to have a boundary in, no, you don't actually get to know what's going on with me, it shows that I am not her, she is not me, and it makes her feel like I have rejected her, when it's not actually me rejecting her and saying that I don't love you. It's just saying, this is my boundary, this is who I am, and that's not something that we have to be one with. Did I explain that well? I feel like I was saying something else too. Frog prosperity. Oh, abandonment wounds. Yeah, I've noticed in a lot of, or in all of the cases of narcissism that I've experienced, yeah, all of them have abandonment wounds. So it was extra that's what my issue was with, is that I don't want to trigger hurt within them. So it's like I give myself to them to show them that they're lovable, because not giving to them, not over giving to them, makes them feel that rejection wound. And I don't reject them, I love them. So I wanted them to feel that, because I didn't trust my own sense of, no, I really do love you. Even if I say no to you, I still love you. It won't be taken that way by them. So for me, it was all about confidence in my own sense of self, own sense of okayness, because it was the safety of, like in childhood, I make sure that my parents, my mum in particular, I got different trauma from my dad. My mum's was like over connection, the like lack of boundaries, but I always had trouble like seeing that, because just for example, practically, like she would always knock before coming into my room, or she wouldn't like a lot of ways I'd seen like overstepping or lack of boundaries on like researching online. Like I didn't identify that in myself or with my mum. I always felt like my mum is very respectful of a lot, and like overthinks and overanalyzes how to take care of me or how to respect me, my space. So it was always hard for me to see that it was way more of an emotional thing. Or I guess just, it was hard for me to identify, full stop. But for my dad, it was more like my mum was super close and my dad was too distant. And it's kind of interesting how that's played out with the connections that I've had, because they've definitely had like a combo of my mum and dad in them, I think. It's easy for me to see how they were like my dad, in that it triggered, actually that's my mum also, it triggered my sense of I guess abandonment? Is that abandonment? It triggered a sense of distance. I don't know how to word this. So they were distant. Do I not need to talk about this? Is this not coming through? Let's look at the frog prosperity. Okay. Let go of the past and embrace change. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy. Abundance and good fortune await you. I feel suddenly like, I guess a little bit like this card of like looking in every direction. I wonder if he will stand up. At the back is cat. I've never seen the similarity between cats and frogs before. Maybe mouse is significant. There's no mouse in this deck, and when I said cats and, I wanted to say mice. And I've never thought of mice when I've seen that cat card in all the time that I've used my wonderful deck of this. Where go now? I guess that's why it was harder to speak about my dad, because perhaps because I meant this about narcissism, and I think my dad is more on the empathic spectrum. Not to say healthy, but just to say he's more of like wants to hide, like I was, as opposed to others, the narcissists I've encountered, which are more like they like a bit of non-hiding. And that's not to say that non-hiding is narcissistic, just in these cases that is a similarity. Okay. Let go of the past and embrace change. Where are we going now? I'm trying to like recount all that I said so that I can see if I finished my sentences. The frog is a bit of my empath card. A little bit. Frogs and the heron card. Hee hee hee. It's interesting doing like more of a talking video as opposed to just reading, because it's like half my energy and half the collective energy. It's weird because often when I do readings I can see, or like in specific readings I'm like, okay, this is just recounting some of the stuff I'm going through, which I usually I'm like, really, do I have to? But it's never like actually drawing from exactly what I'm experiencing. It's always like in a channeled way of like, I can just recognize outside of myself that what I'm saying also applies to me. Whereas right now I'm not really like channeling, it's kind of more like I'm here and the reading is here. All that to say, like, this feels harder to do. It feels less in flow. Maybe. I think some of you are really questioning your experience. And that goes with the frog. Okay. I think that blankness, that not sure where to go, goes with the frog of like every direction, but also of it being empathic, and the reason why you may be feeling like you're not sure how to navigate your situation, or you're not sure whether someone in your vicinity is narcissistic or not, and that is to say, it doesn't really matter about the label, to me at least. It matters about the experience, what is actually going on. Yeah, there could be a lot of unsureness for you surrounding that, and the tears card makes me keep thinking like it's like you're almost at tears. It's like there's a block in the flow, and I feel like that is coming from a not wanting to admit, not wanting to see the truth because of the pain you feel like it will cause those that you're seeing as causing you pain. That was a big thing for me in my relationship, and well, all my relationships, it doesn't have to be like a defined romantic partnership, but like any kind of connection with a narcissistic person that I've had, the struggle for me has always been, I don't want to do what I want to do because that will hurt you. So that could be what you're experiencing, because the card that came up now I'm seeing is Yui from K-On, and she just looks so happy, and she's playing and she's free. She's being creative, and she's not even got her feet like on the ground. It's like she's jumping, she's in the air. Freedom, Sagittarian energy. It's going where you want to go. And you may feel like you can't go where you want to go, and it's keeping you in staying small, staying trapped, staying like surrounding your person. For me, it was like a feeling of being on their leash, like you can't go too far away, but yeah, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like you can't go too far away, but there's always there's never, but you can't be seen either. It's like you're not in like a loving closeness, but you're also not distant. It's like I don't get to have myself, but I also don't get to have me and you either. It's like it's like a push and pull of I want to be away from you, but I also want to be really close to you. And for me, that always resulted in, if I would then ask for more closeness, it would be met with, you're asking for too much. And we would always talk about it a lot, and then it would usually result in, I'm codependent and I need to not need them, or I need to not want them, not want close connection, as close of a connection with them. So I would always go back to thinking that I was the one with the issue, and that I just wanted too much, basically. But in actuality, it was never that. It was never that I was asking for more. It was that I was asking for something. So I had always seen it like, because we would always, in certain of the connections I've been in, we would spend all of our time together, basically. So then for me to ask for like a closer connection, or like a more specific conversation, or simply in the times where we wouldn't be together, if I were to ask for that time, it doesn't make sense in my mind that I should want that, because we spend so much time together. But the reality is that that time together is always with that leash of, we're not actually close, you're just like having me around, and it's not that I'm able to be myself and you be yourself together. It's, you get to be yourself and I have to be looking at you. So it's like, it was so draining. It was so draining. The two most drained I felt, oh, maybe not two, three most, no. There's two that are very specific, that felt very, very similar, and I would basically like become mentally and emotionally and kind of physically ill, just, actually not just those two, but it's just certain connections are easier to see the similarities because of just circumstances that were similar. Yeah, the whole point of like the one who is typically the empath, which I was in this case, and then the narcissist, it's like the narcissist needs the energy to always be on them, and the empath is choosing this too. The empath is choosing to always give their energy, and they feel that, in my experience, they feel that when they take their energy off to then have their own, like, standing up, like the narcissist is standing up, there's never a, like, the narcissist looks at them, it's or it's in very small doses, like enough to keep you going, kind of thing. One example that's coming to mind is in my first romantic relationship. The times that I would feel closest with him were after I would bring up, like, that we really need to talk because I'm feeling really bad, or like when I would bring up conflict and we'd then kind of have to talk about it, it's like I was involved. I felt like instead of it just being me watching him, he was watching me too. So I'd feel refreshed after that, like, wow, like, yes, this is what I wanted. But it was like this had to come when, and it, like, consistently only came when I had a problem, not just because I was happy and could be seen for me. It's kind of giving that energy of if it was like, if there was a threat of me going away, that's when I would get what I needed. To be like, oh it's okay. Even though the conversation would result in me being like, okay, I just almost like I've got to just suck it up and not need him as much, or not want him as much. It's like I would be able to come to that conclusion because from that conversation I would feel more replenished. Yeah, it was a similar thing in other connections where there was kind of like an always being there, but always being there for them, around them, never them around me. Yeah, and just the empathy thing is, you feel their emotions. You want to stay there. The empath wants to the empath wants to give that energy to them because that makes them feel good, and an empath is someone who feels the emotions of others, and so the empath feels good making them feel good. It just doesn't account for their own emotions. I don't know what line to take this in, but it's coming to mind to get in there more, that it's when the empath pulls away, when they take their own space, that that conflict usually arises, I have found. Like, when I step back, the narcissist goes wild. Like, they feel very hurt. Okay, that's a better way to put it, in my opinion. Yeah. And it's like the empath feels okay on their own. This is what I always had trouble understanding with, because with that whole, like, I thought that I was codependent, it didn't really make sense because I was okay on my own. Like, I love alone time. I spend years alone. But I did always want, like, within connections, I always wanted more. But it didn't make sense because I was also happy alone. And the thing was that I wasn't ever... Where's that line of thought going? Or come from? Yeah, just the thing of, it wasn't ever that I was needing their energy, but I was needing them to have my energy in order to feel safe. Because when I was alone, in a relationship or in a connection of sorts, if I was alone, then they felt a sense of abandonment, or they trying to see other words to describe this other than abandonment and rejection. I think those are the best words to use. Pain. It causes them pain, and there's not always an understanding of why. But there's often a blame on the empath, like calling the empath insensitive, or I was made, like, a lot throughout my journey to feel like I was untrustworthy, which is kind of funny to me to, like, to look back at, because I feel like I'm like the most trustworthy person. But I still believed them. I still, or at least had a lot of doubt come up every time. Like, wait, am I untrustworthy? Yeah, I questioned whether I was really loving, whether I really cared a lot. And I think another very, very common trait of a narcissist is that they find it very hard to apologize and to take accountability. So when conflict arises, it's usually subsided, it's usually what do you call that? Made peaceful by putting the blame on the empath, or the empath taking responsibility. And if it's like, if the narcissist does take responsibility, it's like halfway, it's like in a diagonal line, like they're not actually taking responsibility, or they are taking responsibility for one thing but then making it very apparent that they aren't for something else, or then it's like it's never like fully they don't feel like it's okay to be wrong, I feel. And I want to say with that, something that was really hard for me to pinpoint my mum in particular being narcissistic was because she is okay. She would easily apologize. I really resonated with her in that, like, my brother and my dad are not good at apologizing, basically, in my opinion. Yeah. They have stronger egos, let's say. But my mum and I very easily apologize. So it was hard for me to see that my mum was narcissistic in particular, because like Virgo energy, she's a very, very strong Virgo. So she's very, very giving, which is like the opposite of what narcissists usually are like descriptive as. But the way that I'm able to see it is because she doesn't give because she doesn't give from a space of loving and seeing that person or seeing what she's giving to. It's a giving so that she can have an ego. It's like it gives to her ego. It feeds her to like that's the rightness for her. That rightness, that ego comes from being of service, being more morally right. So it's not always the same kind of ego, is what I want to say, for narcissists. It's whatever they were taught in childhood that was morally high ground. So for my mum in particular, she has a lot of or did have a lot of moral high ground with her connection and her raising well of her children, so me and my brother. So when my relationship with her and my brother's relationship with her is on rocky grounds, that takes a really big hit to her ego. So then she wants to mend the relationship with us, not because she wants me to feel better, or she wants Yeah, not because she cares about me, but like it's like she wants me to feel good, not because she actually cares about me feeling good, but because she cares about her child being well looked after by her. So it is an ego thing. So it's hard to, it was so hard to recognize, because it's like she's trying to make me feel as good as possible, right? But not actually for me. And so it's like there's times where you can see where it's like, okay, but I have clearly told you that that's not what would make me feel good. But on the surface, like as a parent, and like what society tells her or is what a good parent would do. It's like then she has to do that because she has to feel like she's being the best parent, even if like that's not, even if like I'm not really involved in that. The heating's on and it's too hot and I'm gonna go turn it off. Maybe I'll leave a timestamp to when I come back, but probably not. I won't be long. I brought an apple too, but I think I'm actually just thirsty. I found that a lot. Ooh, the card is warm. Is that bruised? It's a bit bruised. We still love him. Yeah, when I want apples, it's actually usually that I'm thirsty. Not always, but sometimes. Where's my... I thought of something. Yeah, I was thirsty. Kind of want to get a rune. Wonder if this video is going to be too long, that I'll need to do multiple videos because of the cards. I mean, pile selection. Okay, we have, what are you called? Oh no, I don't remember. This is like one of my favorite. The antlers. Elk, maybe. I don't remember its name. I kind of don't want to look though. Algaes. Algaes. What I'm getting from that is divine protection can come when you ask for it. And so there's a need for recognizing what you need protecting from. Full stop. Let's get some tarot cards. Okay. I just got like lots of visions, let's call them, of my family, but in like really younger years. So there could be something about like early childhood. I guess that's something for me to say. It was always so hard for me to recognize where my childhood was difficult, because my mum's and my dad's I'm just gonna say my mum, because my mum had an ego around creating a good childhood, a loving childhood. So it's like, on paper, a lot of stuff that I had and experienced was very like amazing, loved it, and I loved my childhood. I still do. It's just that I also have an understanding that it was always for my mum. Like it wasn't that she was doing what she felt was best for us, I don't know how else to put this. I feel like I phrased this so much better when I talk about this to others on my own. The Strength card came out, by the way. So, with the Strength card being taming that which is destructive through love and not through physical or harmful ways. Like it's not forcefully caging something, but allowing softness to kind of integrate into that which softness touches. And the Fool is at the back. Infinity, freedom, the beginning, going in any direction, which goes with that prosperity card, going in any direction. I just heard fortune favours the bold, which goes with the Strength card, and as seeing that more with the direction of courage. The courage to allow yourself freedom. Because that's what choosing to recognize the trauma of childhood, the trauma that you've come from or that you are in. I can't remember that sentence. This is I feel like this video is, you know what, no it's not. I was gonna say it's more of like I'm just gonna like sit here with you in like an essence of me saying nothing I'm saying is very good, is it? But I don't feel like that. I feel like, if anything, this slight disorderliness of my speech is expressing the confusion that I felt surrounding my own experiences with narcissists. Being able to clearly see it was something that's always been so hard, and I think that is perhaps what this Strength card is pertaining to. It's not having all of the logic, it's a gut sense of following your heart, following what you know feels loving to you. Oh, something that's coming to mind is I went through strong phases of really hate, and now actually hating the feel of my mum hugging me. And you know what, maybe a lot of narcissist hugs don't feel very good. Because there's a sense of violation with it, like it doesn't have a charge of giving. It has a charge of taking. But yeah. It's like there's a lack of providing emotional space. And when it may seem like they're providing emotional space, I think that there's this energy of like directness, of like trying to look into you as opposed to allowing space for what you are to be and flow. Page of Swords has come out. A way with words. I'm getting to say a way of twisting your own words. Like you may have experienced others. I'm saying that as though I feel like the ones watching this will be empaths experiencing narcissistic people, but it could be that you feel like you identify with the narcissist and you're seeing the more perspective of the empath, or I guess the narcissist, because I'm kind of talking about both here. There's a love and compassion for all. Yeah, this is about expressing the truth, finding that clarity, and not needing it to... I don't think it's that. I think it's more about... Let's get another card. I'm thinking it's more about using words in a deceitful way. It's like Page of Swords can be very good with their words, but it's not necessarily with a maturity, so it can come through as mental manipulation. Because that's what being good, quote unquote, good with words is. I guess I don't need to put quote unquote for that, maybe. It's manipulating your words to fit the situation well, and that can be done through a state of love and in a space of speaking in order for the other to understand what you're saying, manipulating your words to fit for an understanding, or manipulating your words in order to fit to get the result that you're wanting to get. And again, that result that you're wanting to get can be a result of equal compassion, equal understanding, equal love, and feeling best for both. Or it can be one-sided, which is never really possible. Nothing is ever one-sided. It's just that there's such a distortion of self that it's like the survival, like for the narcissist, it's like no person feels best when they win and someone else loses. But as a coping mechanism when you feel that you have so little within yourself that you need to feel like you win and someone else loses. Oh, where was I even going with that? I guess I said it backwards, maybe? Like, the reason why... My phone ran out of battery because I forgot to be plugging it in. So I changed position, got him charging, put my hair up because I'm about to be channeling, like real channeling, not just like talking with the piles. But I think I was saying that basically there's no such thing as one-sidedness being ever something that anyone really wants, truly, because everything is most loving when and feeling best when everyone feels best, and it only doesn't feel like that when empathy is cut off to the point where you don't care about what someone else is feeling, or when the empathy is so turned on that you care more about what the people around you are feeling as opposed to your own self. And both sides of the same coin, which is like overexertion and underexertion, like focus so much on the self that it's not on the other, and so much on the other that it's not on the self. Both are just coming from seeking validation that you are lovable. Just two different points. I think that may have finished off my sentence. I'm still in such like an out of it energy, but I think that's all I have to say. I think I will film a bit of an intro here, maybe, and then let's get into the piles now. Oh, I'll do a pretend intro. Do I? Let's not do a pretend intro. Shall I keep that? It's such a me thing to keep that in. Like, it's just so everything is okay and nothing has to be like particular. Nothing has to be any one way. Yeah. I just thought of a really good phrase to sum up the dynamic, or the root. The empath feels as though they don't deserve to be given to, and the narcissist feels as though they have nothing to give. Not in the mind, not what they think, what they feel. Yes, I don't know where I'm gonna insert that, but love you. When you think about it, they're kind of both the same though. Just wanted to add that in. So you can also flip-flop them probably, but I feel like flip-flopping them, you have to take another perspective to look at it. So I feel like the first one stands better, but yeah, both apply. I feel for both. Welcome in, pile number 1. I feel such a strength to your pile, and I feel like you want to get straight into it. It feels like a no bullshit kind of energy. It feels like you've already decided something. And it feels like the way my voice is coming through, very firm, it feels like a boundary sort of energy. So I feel like this reading for you is more like confirmation than let me like look into something, more like understanding new things. It's feeling like it's going to be more of yes, this is exactly what I'm experiencing, as opposed to new ideas. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put your crystal up here and we'll get some cards and maybe do a bit of soundness. No? Okay. But yeah, because I did a tiny bit of sound healing before turning the video on for your pile, and I don't usually do that. Usually if I'm gonna do sound, I'll do it with you, but it feels like that is the message again of like the healing, the love, the decision, the experience has already happened. You've already decided. You've already ended something. Yeah, this could be since this is a reading to do with narcissism, this could be you've already ended your relationship with narcissists. Okay, so this could be about new information, but it's about the past, about previous experiences. So take either kind of road of this is either something that you've decided on with a present connection, or something that you're bringing new light to about an old connection. That's the two I'm kind of feeling. But maybe there are more. And yeah, that feels like a thing for you too. Like maybe there are more. Maybe there are more narcissistic connections that you've had that you were unaware were of this dynamic. And maybe for you, bringing your awareness to this one, I'm seeing this with the Shiva Lingam kind of being like when you bring yourself to the center, then you realize the ripples of how that has played out in so many other areas. Yeah, there's a sense of really owning your emotions. This feels like an energy of, for a very long time, you weren't able to fully hold your emotions. I'm seeing the Shiva Lingam crystal like emotion, and it's like now you get to cup it. Now you get to really embody them. Embody all that you are. You get to now feel as though it is safe for you to admit to what you've experienced. There's a lot of energy of love, but it's like a power kind of love. Yeah, and it's like my mind is thinking that like the Shiva Lingam is gonna roll everywhere, or it's not gonna be like stay put, but it so is. Or it's not necessarily that my mind thinks that, it's just like that's the typical energy. So it could be for you, like typically you're more mutable, but in this case you're grounded in something. You're really fixed. I'm hearing like no leeway. And yeah, I'm really noticing the spirals on the crystal. It doesn't feel like ribs. I don't know what to call those. Yeah, that it's not coming to mind. It feels like a spiral is important. Yeah, and that kind of feels like going again to that energy of going to the center and having that then spiral out. And that could be the center being your emotions, like how do you feel? And you feel that for a reason, and being able to see why you feel that. So maybe we're gonna get information on why you feel that. No, I don't feel that particularly. I feel like it might come up, but I'm not gonna try and center the reading around that. Okay. Whew. That came through far more easily than I was expecting. Okay, this is the deck I want to use first for you. Oh, I love your energy. It's so in its power. Yeah, so in its power. I'm wanting to note to you that I was feeling really tired in my eyes earlier, but it's like now that I've looked down and maybe not so much had loads of light in it, I feel less tired. I feel more like I can focus. So there could be a lot to do with this experience having caused you a lot of tiredness, and now you're able to bring in more focus. Like you can get your head down. Oh, this card was upside down. Yeah, there's something about like having felt upside down. It's like you may have had all the energy or all the resources or inspiration for something, but you are upside down, so you couldn't implement it. But there's something about implementation here. The cards, like, they're not shuffling super easily, but I'm enjoying it. There's something about that. Like, perhaps the process or the place you're in right now, you don't feel like it's very smooth, but somehow you're enjoying it. Or maybe it's more like you recognize that things didn't go according to plan, or things don't look in order as maybe others would see as orderly. But it's like you found order within that, or you just feel okay with it. There's a sense of peace. I'm not feeling very messagey for you. Like, I feel like you have a strong handle on your situation, on yourself. Oh, I feel so strongly about this one. Take off. Yeah, that's what that energy of what I was trying to explain before was. It's the essence of like takeoff is like really rumbly. Like, think of a rocket. I always see this as a rocket. It's like, this is takeoff, this is the planet, and this is takeoff, and this is like a higher perspective on what you're doing, on the entire experience. This is like an eye watching the whole thing, and it's like you've always had this vision of the lower and the higher, like where you've come from and where you're going, but now you're putting it into action, or now, yeah, there's a sense of things getting a little rocky because things are happening. And that's what that like happiness was, I feel, for the shuffling. It's like, perhaps you recognize this, you recognize the rockiness is actually confirmation, or you recognize the rockiness or conflict is affirming what you already felt, or it's affirming your future. There's something of like the connection between where you've come from and where you're going, and the rumblingness surrounding where you've come from in being indicative of where you're going. It's like the rocket does rumble before it takes off. I think that might be it for this deck. Yeah, that looks a little bit like a rocket too to me in this moment. And see, it's like there's connection from the top to the bottom. Yeah, the whole way from the bottom of the card to the top, there is connection. Yeah, and it kind of feels like there always was this connection. You always had the connection from where you are to where you're going. But you didn't have the fuel, or there was something tying you to the ground so you couldn't get there, or you didn't have the fuel to get there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe with narcissism, maybe you identify strongly as being the empath, and that you were giving all of your fuel away. Or allowing it to be taken, and then you've put the cap on your own tank, so it's not being let out anymore, and so it gets to fill itself up and then go. Yeah, it's like then the liftoff happens on its own, because you just needed to patch up where it was leaking. Maybe the term like patch up why it was leaking. It feels like it fits more here. Animals. I want to do 2 sets of animals for you, I think. Which is to say, this deck and my other animal deck. Actually, I have 3 animal decks. I forgot about that. I forgot about the one that is paired with dragons. And I have a bird deck that's just birds, but I feel like that doesn't count as like calling it an animal deck. It's a bird deck. Okay, for pile number 1. What messages? Straight out. Yeah, that feels like what we were just saying. It's like it'll come straight away. Visionary. That's that eye you had. You always saw the future. There wants to be repetition of this. It was never a case of not being able to see, or not be. It was never a case of like the what. It was the case of the why. Like, you had the thing that you wanted to pour your energy into. You had you had the what, but you didn't have the fuel to go there. It's like you may have questioned your inspiration because seemingly you had inspiration, but maybe you just didn't have the inspiration to do that inspiration. Protection. Yeah, sea turtle, protection. Flowing home, and fox, clever. Foxes can speak to like sneaky behavior, and with these two coming out like this, it's literally like, so the card that came out for you is giraffe. You saw the future. Let me read this so that may make a bit more sense, but you can think of them like they're so tall that they can see for miles. I don't know if miles is true, but metaphorically they have a higher vision. Rise above earthly matters, glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path, stand tall in your self-worth, and love with a big heart. I think this is going to be very... it's going to have more messages for later in the reading, but for now, I'm just going to say that this is talking about the eye, the seeing the future part. And it's like, yes, you had that down. That was already on the table. But the back of the deck, that why things weren't working out was because there was this sketchy behavior that wasn't being patched up. And now what you've got at the back of the deck is the fox was no longer showing. The deceit was no longer there, because with protection, with shell, it's like you placed a shell around it. You patched it up. I'm going to read the sea turtle. Protection. You are a master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. That last sentence is what feels so strong for you. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. Some of you might like to say that out loud. I'll hold it up for you to read or screenshot if you'd like. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. It feels like such a safety, like an enclosedness. Like now you get to have your own energy, or now you get to take care of yourself in the way that actually feels like it's taking care of yourself. The way I said that is sticking out to me. So it could be that for a long time you felt like you were taking care of yourself, but I really noted that you're actually taking care of yourself. So it's like you're recognizing what was going wrong, or you're recognizing where you can really go right. It's like you found what your true nourishment is. And that could have to do with wisdom of the darkness. I'm seeing words being very significant here with Raven and Humpback Whale. Humpback Whale makes me think of Akashic Records, which makes me think of books and words. And Raven makes me think of words. Just full stop. I'm gonna get another card for that. I don't know, can't quite see what it's on about. Let's get one of these. So words. I heard something of like a poem, like words spoken to no avail, something something prevail. So maybe that something something part is the significant thing for you, or maybe what this card is on about. Moving stag. So at the back of the deck is Chippy Garnet Boy. So this is like an expression of a crystal being that is of garnet, and it's particularly of protecting one's energy, like not protecting, what do I want to call this? no words are coming for it, so I'll leave it as this is great for empaths. And moving stag is a spirit who came to me to help when I was experiencing something of helping my dad's spirit pass over. That's not exactly accurate, but that's what I'm going to say for this. So, passing over to do with words. You know what that feels like? It feels like putting words to the in-between, because also that like little poem I said, it's like the parts I didn't know were the middle parts, but it's like I had the first half, and then the next like quarter was the moving stag, the unsureness. That's the part that you're being asked now, or that you recently have put into words. And then the final part was already seen. So that's the same thing with the giraffe thing again, of like you saw the final part, the prevail, but you didn't know what would make you prevail. You knew that something, you knew that like this is to no avail, but you didn't know the part that was just before the prevail. And with the moving stag being like the in-between, what helps you transition is putting words to the truth, putting words to what you've experienced. So from your reading, from your energy, I've already expressed that it feels complete, like it feels like you've already experienced it, or it feels like you're firm in something. So it feels like putting words, putting expression to that firmness. So maybe that you've come to a very strong energy of closure, or a strong energy of understanding within your energy, within your body, but you may not have grounded it quite fully yet. So really talking about it or expressing it would get you that step further to the prevailing part, I think. Okay, now we'll use the other animal deck I spoke of. I kind of want to leave the protection card in though. I just heard Honolulu, so Hawaii could be significant. The big island too is coming to mind. Islands maybe in particular. Yeah, and I'm being told to clarify that any islands. It could have been island, also the country, but more specifically, this feels like an island. So maybe that's also like you being alone, or you having boundaries, because I'm thinking like an island is on its own and it's surrounded by water, and we can see water as being like clarifying, or it just feels nourishing. I'm not really feeling either of those though. I'm feeling more just space, like a planet. I'm also feeling like mentioning, I feel like I'm speaking in a way that isn't really like myself. Like my voice doesn't quite sound like me. There could be something about like finding who you are. Like if we view it as it doesn't sound like me, but maybe that is me, and maybe I'm just coming to this now. So there could be like an adjustment period that you will experience, or that you are experiencing. Felt more like the future. No, it feels like the present too, and when I said that, I wanted to say the past. So there's something about like the weaving of the past to the future. We've got that a lot for you. It's like you have everything in place and your job is just to fully weave it together. Because you have all the pieces, it feels like. Yeah, that's what it is, the island too. It's like you have every single piece, but now like bring your boat to each one. I feel like writing down your experience would really like put it all together in your brain or in your body or something. Like if you can see it all, like all the puzzle pieces, all the keys, everything that you experienced, or the type of dynamics that played out and what was within that and why that was, then and where you've seen the future being, like the difference in the future you see and the past you see. I feel like that's the key for you. Yeah, weaving them together. Okay, we have mouse. That's kind of cool. In the like beginning, when I was talking about more my own experience, but kind of like for the collective, I felt mouse energy. Which again goes with your reading of, you already saw it, but it didn't come through immediately in that place. It's like you saw it, but you didn't understand it back then. And now you see it and you get to implement it. And here I'm seeing the truth of it, why mouse came through. And to me, it feels like really understanding your specific needs. Because mice are very sensitive. If like the temperature is like just a bit over or just a bit under, it's like they're in peril. There's a lot of different conditions that need to be met for mice to survive. And at least this is what I'm remembering now. It doesn't have to be true, but that's what's coming through for the reading. That you have specific conditions that you're now putting words to, that you're now able to understand and able to, I heard comprehend, so okay, understanding it is key. Because once you understand it, you can meet those needs. At the back of the deck is whale shark. Which is interesting to me. It's really making me want to shuffle, because this is like one of the cards that I have an insecurity around. These are drawn by me. But I don't feel like actually shuffling it. And I love this card. So that could be to do with one of the needs that were going unmet. Before, you no longer feel like hiding. You are now able to fully accept a part of yourself and allow that to be taken care of. Because you're not trying to hide it anymore. There's something within you that you're not trying to hide anymore. Or outside of you. Yeah, a part of yourself that you're no longer trying to hide. A condition that you want met. Or a condition that you want to not be there anymore. Okay. I kind of want some tarot, I think. I'm going to put the whale shark away now, though. Not away, just up. Up and away. A whale, up and a whale. That just keeps bringing my mind to, so I'll say it. Like Wales, the country, could also be significant. The UK, maybe, because... Oh, UK, maybe that's it. Like, are you okay? Like, UK? You can now recognize what makes you feel okay. Just because I mentioned Ireland and then Wales came up. Opportunity. I heard flight. 8 of Wands. I didn't say that. Whee! Oh, the star wants to pop out. Okay, that's really interesting how they came out. So the whole chunk came out, but the one that I had stood its ground, the one that was significant. The one that didn't fall, the one that was balanced even though it wasn't really given sturdy ground to be balanced on, was the Star. So there's something about perhaps opportunities, like destined opportunities that come from the instability that you experienced, from the sense of conflict, or from not having your conditions met. You now get to experience something that you wanted to experience, something that is like a flood of healing to you. And it's bringing me back to that energy of inspiration I touched on. And 8 of Wands, the Wands can speak to like an energy of fire, fuel, inspiration, and with that be like energy in and of itself. And with it being 8, it's like a power number. So it's like infinite inspiration or infinite energy. There's a strong sense of power here, but the way that it expresses itself is very refreshing. Yeah, refreshing power. Okay, so we have Queen of Pentacles. Let's put these to the side. At the back of the deck is 8 of Pentacles. I love this because it just looks like Weaver of Worlds, like spider and a web. So Queen of Pentacles, the Emperor, very boundaried cards, very independent, protective, self-sufficient cards. I guess I want to say, like, they have their shit together. Or maybe let's swap that and go, they have their love together. It's that groundedness. Okay, so you know how I said the Star came from the instability? Like, that's how it was rested. But these two are like fully restedness. So, and the way that I'm placing these, it's like the Star and the opportunity of being that beacon of hope comes above, and then what's below that, what gets created from that, is a strong sense of stability. Like, this came from the instability, but then you have this, like, the instability is what then creates the stability, because the instability creates these opportunities and this Star energy. I would no, I guess not. It's not coming through. It creates this Star energy, and then that is what creates the stability of, I hit the true kind. Okay, then the Hanged Man. We were saying at the beginning, weren't we, something to do with, like, it was all there, but it was, you were upside down. And that just feels like this energy. It's like, now you're right side up. You were upside down, but now you have that foundation, which is to say right side up. The Chariot. Okay, a lot of major cards. And King of Wands. Movement forwards with power. This is there's a lot of energy of control here, because even the Chariot has a sense of controlling the tides, or controlling the direction without the need to, like, physically control. So that's bringing me to a very mature King of Wands. King of Wands has leadership over its domain, but it doesn't always have to be expressed expressed in a mature way, but this makes me feel very much like you're coming to a sense of power that is what do I say about that? I kind of want to get a sacred geometry card to express that. What kind of power do I want to express? And I think that might be the energy you have, actually. That's what you're asking. You present yourself with the question of what kind of power do I want to express? Essentially, there's a lot of like balance between masculine movement forwards, and this doesn't really fit, but I'm gonna say it does, and feminine, like fixed, staying completely steady. So basically, like having a foundation to build off. The back of the deck kind of wants to come through. Integration of the third eye chakra. The frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination and our psychic powers. Yet that came through a lot with your like being able to see the future. And I feel like that is a lot of what this power is. I feel like your power is the ability to, yes, see the future, but it's what you've got now is the power to implement the bridge between, which kind of feels like that Eight of Pentacles at the back of the deck, the Weaver of Worlds. You're able to weave the worlds, not just see both of them or all of them. King of Wands is making me think a lot of, and Emperor, and all of these cards actually, well, some of them. They're making me think of the ability to lead, but it doesn't have to be others. It can definitely be, but it's a sense of seeing everything and being able to hold a space for it or to direct it. Being able to provide the pathways between. You link the this world and the other world. You link the far off shores and the current shore. You are the boat that goes between, or the bridge. I like boat. I'm not sure why. And we see that with the Chariot, yeah. Because maybe that brings us a strong sense of you're able to guide through showing the way, and not that the way is combining of the future and the past, but you're able to lead people out of the past and into the future. In other words, a sense of letting go. But I'm going to get some more tarot just to confirm that for me. Or to bring in more light to something. Yeah, it's like there's not a sense of you helping others or being able to see in order to move. It's like seeing in order to have separation. That wasn't really coming in clearly. Yeah, I think that might be what you come into, is the sense of being able to get clarity. Knight of Cups and the Hermit. There does feel like a sort of, and I just sort of split to a bit of Ace of Swords and what was the other one? Now the Sun. There's so much vitality, so much ability to see. I feel like it's a strong sense of self-worth. Being able to see where there is lacking, where that self-worth is being diminished, where the self does not have the worth, where you and others don't see the wholeness and being able to recognize the journey to wholeness. Eight of Cups. Yeah, there's the boat analogy is peaking to me. It's making me feel like the wisdom you have is in a sense of non-attachment. Okay. I feel like there could be a lot of different situations, because I'm wanting to give more details, but I'm not getting them. It's like I'm feeling more drawn to giving more abstract messages. And although I love abstract messages, I'm feeling like noting that particularly here. And it makes me feel like your specific situation, your specific experience is specific. It's unique to you. And your perspective is so valuable. Because only you went through what you went through. And only you know what you know. Only you can give your perspective. Okay. I'm going to close off the reading with a little drawing. Color black has come through for you. And I saw the death card in my mind, but I didn't want to mention that before for some reason. So that could have been your experience too. Of you saw the death card before, you saw that release, but you didn't want to mention it before. You didn't want to bring that light, bring that clarity to it. But me bringing it through now, it's like, yes, you have, or you are. It's interesting, I hardly ever start a page and then not finish it, apart from my first page, but that's like a separate thing. But what we've got on this page is the words difficulties, and now my instinct is to cross it out. Okay, let's see what comes through. This feels like a being to me. It feels like a water creature who is too large for the water. So it's like even though they're in the water is so shallow that all of them kind of seeps out anyway. It's like I want to highlight the throat chakra here. And suddenly I feel a strong desire to drink water. Combine it all. Combine it all. This part is really significant. It's like, it's the light. The light on your experience of being a creature that is so large that it doesn't fit in the water that you're in. And some creatures are like fish and smaller. They do fit in the water that you're in, but not you. Like, I'm not just seeing like slightly above water. I'm seeing like a very deep water, but you are so massive that it's nowhere near. Like, the water is not even up to the top of your legs. Let's give you that third eye. Okay, that is it for your reading, pile number 1. I'll see you in another if I do, or I'll see you in another expression of life if not. Bye bye. Camera stays on though, so feel free to leave before you see the opening. Leave before you sieve the opening. Before you see the opening. Interesting. I feel like that took me out of my energy. Some readings do that. It's quite interesting. Sometimes I'm like, waha, I'm here. And chicken and gnat want to come through. And sometimes it's more of like I don't know, an interesting experience of relating to new energies. Let's say a weaving of a distant world. Even though the messages seemed like ones that I could listen back to myself, I don't know, something didn't quite fit for me. And I don't know why I'm expressing that here, and someone is gonna get a pile 1.5. Maybe you also felt that? You felt like a dissonance? Oh, the whale is coming back. There's still a bit of that energy, but hey ho, there we go, it's less here. So, whale with singer. Singer feels important. It's that expression. It feels like why I was highlighting the throat chakra at the end. But I felt like there was way more to that, but I didn't want to express it there, or didn't want to get into it there. And it feels like that's coming through here. Yeah, this is a reiteration. Maybe it needed to come through in different words for you. Or maybe this is particularly with community about singing, expressing the truth, which feels like a difficult truth, the truth that isn't always going to be met with love or going to be met with peace. Expressing that truth to a community, to free a community, to free yourself from a community. I'm being drawn to like the bee can sting, even when it doesn't like intend to hurt, is what I'm feeling. Yeah, it feels like you have something to express that isn't going to be easy. But it's like honey to one is poison to another. But it's not truly poison is what I'm feeling. It's like, it's just that there's a very large wound that the honey is, the love is setting onto, and that is gonna hurt. It's gonna sting. Yeah, and so what can be perceived as a sting to others, those with the wound, is still just healing. It's still salve. It's still being loving. It's still helping the wound, because it's showing truth. Truth is always healing. Truth always carves a line of clarity, a line of direction towards truth. So even when something is an expression does hurt, it's not to say that that isn't the loving thing. And this is also saying, watch out for the traps and tricks of life. I feel like when you express yourself, when you sing your song, and the moon is really speaking to me here, so when you express your emotions, be prepared for the backlash, and know that backlash doesn't mean that you are wrong to express your emotions. I feel like that is the message for you here. It's knowing that you can fall back into where you were before you expressed it, that knowing that you had, that feeling you had within yourself, because there may be others who try and take you out of your knowing, who try and bend the truth. Okay, that's it, pal. 1.5. I love you. See you in another expression of life. Freedom wanted to poke out, but it didn't want to stay. It's like it wanted to bring more assurance of like your freedom is protected, or there's a call to protect your freedom. Play. Yeah, and what is freedom if not play? Protect your play. Protect your ability to be healing. Because dolphins are so healing too. Their play is healing. Which makes me think of that whale again, of like your form of healing may be so light-hearted, so light, that it is viewed as like irresponsible, or it is viewed as damaging, when in actuality it is simply love in another expression. It is an expression of love, and that may be not something that those that you're surrounding yourself with, or those that this is in correlation to, understand. So there's just like a sense of like, prepare yourself. Because it's like, I feel like if you're speaking a truth to someone because they don't see the truth, so that's why you need to speak the truth to them, be prepared that they're not going to agree with that truth, because that's why you're doing it in the first place. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie pokey. I want to say I love you again to you. Welcome in, pile number 2. I want to say the word brilliant with you. That rhymes. Okay, I have a couple decks that I want to use for you already. Sometimes they come in trickles, but for you it's like, no, all of them. I have the idea of where to go already. Okay. And it may be something that you've got the idea of, but there's an insecurity around putting it into action. Okay. Where was the other deck I wanted to use? Ah, here. Empathy, really? Okay, let's use this deck first. Okay. Pass for pile number 2 around this reading of Narcissism. Play. Whoa. A lot of cards came out then. We'll have a look through them. Yeah, we'll take them all. We'll have a look and we'll take them. I feel like that's where you're at. You're in a bit of like a will I stay or will I go? Music could really help you during this time to get in the flow. There's like a sense of flow that you're being called into. And it doesn't really matter which way it goes. And I feel like I want to rhyme with your pile a lot. There's an excitement with you. And a surprise at what you find. Or the ease at which you settle into somewhere or something. Or there's a sense of like you expect the worst, but you get the best. Okay. Yeah, the back of the deck is the character that I often call the wounded warrior. So, and that just makes me think of the Nine of Wands and also the Five of Swords in tarot, which both speak to coming from difficulty, coming from conflict. But the cards we see in front of me, interesting, are very playful. They're all giving me very joyful, childlike energy. So the first one is Yui from K-On! The second one is I wanted to say Aruma again. That came up in the start, the collective reading at the beginning / sharing of my personal experience. There's something so childlike energy about yours, and so forgiving. I feel like you have a very patient energy, and it feels like it's like both though. It's like you're very impatient, but you also are very patient. I feel like there's a lot to do with choice. It's like you get to go in the direction that you want to go in. There's so much about desire and what feels freeing, what feels loving, what feels playful to you, what feels like light. Yeah. What is light? I'm drawing a huge blank on her name. It's from Dragon Maid Dragon. Kanna-chan. She is a dragon. And this is from Iruma. Clara is from Iruma. And then this is Cecilia. Emma Green. They all feel like they have a lot of expression, a lot of energy. Yeah, they're all like hyper. They're all hyper. Because even Kana, who is often more soft-spoken and kind of quiet, she can transform into a dragon and has like a ton of energy to like battle for hours. Yeah, they're all very energetic. Okay, so it's like you come from a space of pain or of lack, but actually you have a lot of energy. I wonder if within this narcissism dynamic, you either have come out of it, or and thus you have loads of energy, or you are the narcissist. You resonate with being the narcissist and you've taken a lot of energy. So we'll see. But we had empathy at the back of the deck, so I'm feeling like you resonate with being empathic, and you no longer feel like you are attached to an energy drain or something that didn't allow you to be so playful, to be so light. My energy is going like, I'm having images of looking in every direction. It's like, what do I want to do now? You can do anything. Empathy. Yeah. Circle is an energy that I combine source and circle. So that's what gives the circle an S instead of a C. So it's bringing me to purity. It's a sense of being completely yourself. And it's also giving me a sense of border. So it feels like you're free. I'm gonna get more cards. I'm struggling to see a strong message here. But I feel like that's your energy, because I feel like a now what with you. Now what? Is that even something you want to know? I feel like it's not that you want... I feel like you have loads of ideas of where you want to go. How you want to express yourself, what you want to do with your energy, how you want to play. I feel like you're in the essence of being able to put that into action now. Yeah, I feel like a congratulations for all that you've come through, and maybe like a recognition that you're able to be so playful. You're able to have all of this energy because you have detached, because you allowed yourself to no longer stay stuck in where you were, because the back of the deck is like where you've come from was pain and was trauma, but you've risen, and it feels like now you're in such a connection to who you really are and your inner child, and allowing yourself to feel safe enough to let your energy expand. There's such an expansion here, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think the reason why I wasn't able to get into your energy, or I was feeling like I wasn't really reading anything, or I was finding it hard to do your reading. And I feel like the reason for that was because your reading wants to be more go, go, go. Give with unconditional love and grace. It wants to... It kind of doesn't want to be here. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you listening don't really want to be listening. That noise is just my laptop. I accidentally knocked the cable, and it's very sensitive to the energy input. So that could be strongly to do with what you've experienced, like the energy input. Some of you could definitely be from pile 1, I'm feeling. At the back of the deck is Elephant. Open yourself to true abundance. So with me knocking my laptop, that sensitivity, it feels like you've really recognized how sensitive you are. If you're from pile 1, the mouse card, it's like you recognize that you are the mouse, or you recognize what that represents within yourself, whether subconsciously or consciously. You recognize the conditions of what you need to feel safe in order to play, in order to be yourself, in order to live freely, as playfully and as connected to your inner child, connected to everyone, the empathy, how to deal with your empathy, essentially, as you can. And there's a sense of, oh, your device ran into a problem and couldn't be repaired. Yeah, there's something, I feel like you recognized that something was irreparable. And that recognition is what allowed you to step into the space of like a constant repairing. I feel like that's what you are. You are constantly repairing. You strike me as someone who like needs, like not just loves, but needs expansion. One moment, let me just adjust my laptop. Okay, yeah. I feel like there's so much going on for you right now. And there's a call to really reap it, to reap the rewards of your efforts. So cow, give with unconditional love and grace. Black Saturn, I feel like it's like a recognition of like why you're able to have this, and that recognition brings you to giving yourself a pat on the back because of I don't even want to say that. It's like, yes, recognizing how far you've come. Black dragon from Saturn brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. It's like, because of the discipline that you had, you are now able to experience this crystal yellow dragon of wisdom and of like plentiful, that abundant elephant energy. You're able to shine now because you allowed yourself to shine. You allowed yourself to restrict that which was not allowing you to shine. Yeah. Oh yeah, what I was not wanting to say was like, you don't have to earn the ability to let out your inner child. But so it's like that pat on the back. It's like, you shouldn't only pat yourself on the back when you've done something, but there is a sense that you have done something. But I feel like that's it. It's like you've done something to get to the place where you no longer have to do something to pat yourself on the back. Is that innate freedom to be a child, to simply live, to lovingly live. I feel like with like this, I was gonna call him a creature, with the creature at the back who looks like really old, and that kind of being on the left side being like the past, it makes me feel, and then the children all coming out for you. I know Cecilia isn't actually a child, but she gives off enough child energy. With the children coming out for you, It's like you had to be the adult in your past, and now you, because of the like then extreme adulting you did with the Saturn, you then get to be the child. And I think that's what you're experiencing now. That freedom to be a child, to experience what it's like to be a child. You're giving yourself enough of a parent, you've given yourself enough of the parent role in order to allow yourself to also have the child role. Okay, I'm gonna take some water and then we'll get more cards. There's something a lot about your spirituality. It's like so with the empathy, it's like there's so much love here, so much connection beyond words, beyond physicality. And yet with the Saturn, it's so grounded. So I feel like that's what you've come into. It's a sense of the image I'm getting is a triangle, so it's like you had both the top pieces, you had that enlightenment, but now it's like you had the innocent sort of love and you have had the mature sort of love, or you have both of these, like the love that you're born with and then the love that you develop, and then you also have what brings them together into this realm. So it definitely feels like a foundation of love that you've built that is unshakable. So it's not just something that you get to tap into, it's something that you get to experience. It's something that is grounded within your body. Okay, let's get more cards. What cards do we do? I kind of want number cards. I actually don't want them, but I feel drawn to them. This could be the experience that you had in the past of not really wanting something, but just being very drawn to them or to it. So that's a lot of blank cards. I don't want to be shuffling all of them. We'll add one blank card into the loop. Okay. Yeah, so you might have experienced going towards that which you were drawn to. This could have to do with like healing energy, like you fell into that dynamic of wanting to heal others, even if it wasn't benefiting you to be in that situation, and now you're in a space of you get to go towards that which you want to go towards. And maybe with this like Saturn in the middle, it's like that's now what you're drawn to. What you're drawn to now is that which benefits you because of all that you have integrated within yourself. That noise was my laptop saying an update available. Yeah, it just feels like that's what you've updated to, or that's what you are updating. There's an update that is integrated within your body. And it's that of drawing in play, drawing in the child, drawing in desire. Alignment with self. It's like you get to be on the same page. You get to experience others who are experiencing a similar level to you, because you no longer come from this state of lack. Because you now allow yourself to be the child, you get to align with others who also allow themselves to be the child. 1. It's like yourself, when you did I say this is 47? Let's show that up to the camera. So 47 goes down to 2, and then 1. Yeah, it's like that. It's like 2 is empathy. You went from older to younger. And it feels like you're experiencing a mirror of this with others. And the back was 74, a mirror, 47, 74, yeah. You know, yeah, everything was always a mirror of yourself, but it's like because of that update that you had within yourself, you're getting to experience the update in your external too. Yeah, your internal. I felt like drawing it back to like your feeling, because I feel like I felt a sense of like you don't really care about the external. Not like completely, but there's an energy of this, like you care more about how you feel within yourself. Or look at that, 210, but also 3. It's like there are 3 zeros. Yeah, so it's like you now get to go up in both ways. You get to experience life from like even more of a cracked open child, but also an even more evolved adult, because you're the 3 and the 0. You go down and you go up. Yeah, and that's so much the energy of circle, source, and circle everythingness, where expansion happens in all directions. It's all reflected. I'm really being drawn to like the yoke. Yeah, it's like you're getting to experience the beginning at the end and the end at the beginning. You're getting to experience like a constant revival. I feel that so strongly with you, like a constant revival. I feel like there's just so much about how much energy that you have or are about to step into. Like you have so much vitality. Okay, let's get some more cards. 56 is at the back of the deck. It feels evil. Again, actually, it feels like it fits with the Oboro, this character. The one that I'm saying is an old guy. Okay. And none of this has to do with age. It doesn't matter if you are a 170-year-old watching this. There's a sense of having to be old when you were young and getting to be young now that you're old. No matter what that old, like no matter your current age, you're old. This current age you are at is the oldest you've ever lived to in this body. Unless you've like got a really cool experience with time. Time jumping. Yeah, I think I explained that. Okay, let's get some animal cards to close off. I feel like saying, with this being a narcissism reading, let the vitality that you experience from separation, from all that you have done, from all the restrictions you have put in, the boundaries you've put in, let this vitality be confirmation of where you've come from. You can't make that up. Fire, tiger. It's literally just you have energy. You have energy now. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. Yeah, I'm being so drawn to this top left part. It feels like a sun, even though I feel like I want to say it's not meant to be a sun, but it is a sun. So there's something about where you get your energy from. It's like it's not supposed to be what gives you energy, but it is. It could have also, maybe we could see that in the opposite way of like
Maybe it's like, with this being black and white. Yeah, that's the message again, is like black and white. The opposite. Something that you don't expect to be rejuvenated by, you are. Heron. You got both cards in your read. Oh, were you the mouse? No, I feel like mouse was power 1. Yeah, mouse was power 1, which came up in the collective at the start. And Heron, I briefly mentioned, was like my empath card, along with Frog in the collective at the start. And you got the empathy as well as the other empath card, which is Heron. Okay, so patience. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Yeah, something about refreshing. But there's that like jolt of like, what is refreshing? Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. Okay, so what I'm feeling from, let me get a little bit. Bear, guardian. Okay, there's a sense of like rest, but the rest comes from something unexpected. So where did it come from? Let's just get a card for that, because I'm seeing this with like hibernation, and when I was seeing tiger, I was remembering that they have a very like grand energy, like they have a lot. Let me see if I can get it in the book. Actually, they probably say it better than I can think of. But it's like they need to take time to be alone in order to rejuvenate. This is making me think of like introvert, like getting energy from within. Oh, so maybe it's like the sun is seemingly outside. That's where you should get your energy from, the sun, which is outside, but actually the sun is inside. That's clicking. I thought that would be like, that sounds pretty obvious. To get vitality from within. Maybe you are the pile of identifying with being narcissistic. Realizing that your vitality comes from within. I feel like you got empathy though. So, I mean, it could be asking you towards like guiding you towards that. Having empathy for others. And instead of attaching to others, having your vitality come from within instead of outside of yourself. But no, I'm getting that for most of you, all of you, it's that you feel that you are very empathic, and you've come to a space of being able to maneuver through that. Yeah. There's a confidence that you've got to it too. I felt like some of you didn't resist when I was saying, or like did resist when I was saying that maybe you were the narcissistic one, because perhaps in the past that would have been a point of contention for you. You would have worried, perhaps, or not worried, but you would have questioned yourself again. That's it. To be sure, but maybe this time you felt more grounded, and there was a sense of healing groundedness that has come from that. I feel so bitty in my words right now. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, just that the tiger needs time alone in order to rejuvenate their energy, and Heron links very much with the empath and felt like such an introvert. What was the back of the deck? Was that? Oh yeah, and then the bear with hibernation, so rest again. It's like the energy I'm feeling is work can be restful, maybe? Dove. It's just a sense of that vitality comes from within, and you always had that. Can you hear my belly? That was so loud. Yeah, the solar plexus, it's like, what is it? Why am I not getting it? Let's get a couple tarot cards. That's it, though. You've got it. That's what the message is. It's, you've already done it. And yet, I put the tarot deck after shuffling a couple times and put it back, and it was 6 of Wands, which is success. It's, you've done it. You've achieved it. So some of you may be like looking for like, what is it? Or I don't get it. Or where can I get my vitality from? Like, no, you've already done it. You've got it already. It's you. You already have it. Gnomes. Slow, yeah. I feel like for some of you, you may just be in a state of, like, you patched up the drain. You let go of the narcissist, but there might be like a tiny bit of time for your energy to regain itself. I didn't feel like that for most of you. I felt like you're on a roll, like you're so energetic. But if you're not feeling that, I feel like the message is simply give it some time. Give yourself time. Allow it to naturally come back. Yeah, there's nothing that you need to do. It's all been done, and it's rejuvenating itself. That's why I feel like the message I keep wanting to repeat for you is it's been done. Like, that wasn't the message. Words are going crazy in the second half of this for you. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like you've already done it, the first part, and the second half you're like questioning everything, or you don't know what to do, or you're trying to find something to do, but just allow it. It's already been done. You've already done it. Yeah, allow it to come to you. There's a strong sense of femininity. The thing I was trying to say that I kept wanting to repeat with you was like an infinity symbol of like you are self-generating. You are energizing. Yeah, I think that's it for you. We'll do a small reading, a small drawing, and then leave your reading there. Let's take it off. Yeah. So pile 1 feels like they were still attached, but they were strongly in their essence, in their power. It's like they just needed to link some things. It's like they still had a couple steps to do, even though they were they were well on their way, let's say. But for you, it's like I ripped the page off. You've already done the severing. Where's my pen gone? I'm noting that pen in Welsh can mean head. So it kind of sounds like I'm saying, where's my head gone? And I feel like that's what you're doing. It's like, ow, like you're losing your mind a bit in some capacity. Where is my head though? I'm hearing like a look around, and I feel like that was from a movie or from... I feel like it's from Ice Age 1. No, Ice Age 2. When the flood is going to happen and someone is saying, look around, the ice caps are all melting or something. Yeah. What message is that bringing through? It's like it's like something that should be scary, but it's completely not. What do you feel like? Yeah, that's the losing your head, I think. Or it's like not that particularly, but that is definitely correlated with it. Oh, that also sounds like ego death. I know that term is used quite a lot. You might resonate with it. My belly is rumbling. My belly! I heard in my head there's a weird sense of completion. Yeah, that's what this all feels like, a weird sense of completion. And I want to do blue also for you. Did I say, were you the one that I wanted to rhyme with? I think you were at the start, because I wanted to do that again. Rhyme. I can't remember what. Maybe I just did rhyme, or maybe I thought of rhyming in my head. There's such like an out of sorts feel, but I feel like you're coming into something that you once loved, and you're able to put your energy into it, and it's like going to transform. And you love it so much. You've loved it for a long time. And now you get to actually have it. I feel like saying smiling from ear to ear. That's where I'll leave your reading. I love that this is bringing two colors in, and it's kind of a congratulations of like, you don't have to corner yourself off in order to deal with your empathy. It's like, now you understand what to allow in, and you understand that you can have cooperation, you can have relationships that are of love, that feel collaborative as opposed to destructive. It's like this image of both energies can cooperate. I guess I was just saying the same thing again. There's so much love here, like I can't express that enough. So much love. Between two. Love between two. Or between multiple. It feels like you and the world. It doesn't actually feel like that. It feels like you and a particular other. You get that love. Because you decided what it would be. You decided what gets to be with you. Or who gets to be with you. I want to, like, cuddle this piece of paper so much. And I'm seeing lots of images with it. There's so much creation that's going on from here on for you. You may find yourself loving the color orange. I just feel like it's time. It's time to create. It's time to love life. It's time to accept that which you deserve to accept. I love this so much. It feels like the life that you had planned, you now get to live. It's so much bigger than you have tapped into it being before. It's like maybe a sense of like, with Cecilia in particular being at the end, it's like you knew in your mind what it would be, but you never felt the truth of it. And the truth is so loving. Because that's what anything is, right? Alignment with truth. And of course you wouldn't have felt fully the truth of this love that you're stepping into if you hadn't stepped into it. And that to me wants to reiterate that this is new, and this is not something that is repeating the past. This is very much that update energy. So I heard, so you can expect the worst because it doesn't matter what you expect, you're getting what you align with. It's kind of an essence of you can't go back. It doesn't matter what really goes on from here on. Maybe in your mind, maybe you fear what you think. It doesn't really matter what your mind thinks. Your heart is aligned. I love this. I love it. Okay. Pile number 2. I'm gonna leave it here, leave it there, and scrumple this up. Oh, look, it's an eyelash. Eyelash wishes. I feel like that's something I heard lately. Eyelash wishes. That is for you. That could be coming up. Coming up because you blew on them eyelashes and they went upwards from your breath. From your intention. Okay, bye-bye. I feel like for some of you, think about your past and not in like a you need to look back, but there was a sense of like, go on, try it. Because in the past, maybe thinking about the past had like got you attached to the past, but now it's like, think about the past and see how little you feel attached. I'm like deciding in my brain whether to pause the video here and then go make food, because if not, my belly will be rumbling throughout pile 3. And also, I kind of want to food my body. Food it. Yeah, it feels like the amethyst crystal I'm imagining. It's like in the far distance. It's such a shift of energy. It feels later in the day. Maybe even another day. Maybe I'll let you know if you're going to pile 3 too. Whether it is same day or not. Knots could be significant. Maybe for those of you who resonate with marriage in the conventional sense, or the, I don't know, in a sense, tying the knot could be significant for you. Let's get another card for you. Did we even use... Yeah, we got the empathy card. Hazel tree. Some of you could like the YouTube channel Hazel Lucia Tarot. Lyra. I like that message. But that also feels like to do with others and collaboration and the sense of like the world is opening is what it feels like. But it's like opening from such an internal state. It's like it's the same, but somehow it's so different. I'm getting for a lot of you, like, if that which you're connected to, like who you do things with, makes all the difference. It's like you get to experience everything that you've experienced before with someone new, which makes everything that you've experienced completely new. It's gonna feel, or it does feel already, like and it could be a new dynamic with the same person, but it's like they are new. It just feels like the world is so new now. I feel like I repeated myself so much in pile 2. Oak tree and feminine. Yeah, there's a strong sense of leadership with this energy circle. It's like confirming, like, yes, I am from pile 2. And Andromeda also is just like so playful. Freeing. I'm a freedom seeker. Are you a freedom seeker? A freedom peeker? A freedom sneaker? Like a sneaker-rooney? that makes me think of bringing, with the leadership energy I was tapping into with the oak tree, makes me think of leading that which is unseen, leading through clarity with clarity. This is the heart. What is hazel tree about? I feel like that's what it was from the other tarot reader. On the U of the tube. Her maybe for a lot of you, but more specifically, I'm kind of seeing, and Lyra could be Lexi the Leo. Wait, let's think of if there's an oak. O-A-K. A-K? Feminine. I can't think of any channels like that. Okay, what was I saying? There's such a, like, two trees and two very heart energies is what I'm thinking now. There's a sense of providing that which you feel. It's like you're providing without really providing. It's like a providing with, I heard intangibility. So it's like the essence that you exist through is such a grounding presence for others. It's like with me naming those two channels, it feels like more of a placeholder energy. Like it's a concept, something about concept. Like the feminine, it's not practical. It's the ability to create practicality through impracticality. Some of you may want to create I heard source of income through, whoa, I'm seeing a bee or a wasp on my window. Haven't seen one of those for ages. Wow. And that's making me think of the card from this deck, Bee Community, which was in Power 1, Power 1.5, I mean, which makes me think of leadership through community, but it's like you're expressing something feminine. You're providing space through your heart. It's like that which you create. And maybe this is two things, because and this could also be two people. Like one of you could resonate with hazel tree, and one of you, if this is a relationship we're talking about, could resonate with oak tree. Or this is both you and you're providing a feminine. That's what you're providing, the feminine, and the oak is that the structure, the channel, the business, the thing that people can go to, that kind of thing. The provider of what you're providing. Or if this is then the relationship, or two parties, whatever that may be, one could be the hazel tree and one could be the oak tree, and what you're both providing is love. And this could simply be a confirmation of both being able to give and both being able to receive. So coming into a partnership with someone who is just as tapped into the desire to provide you with love as they are with the ability to receive love from you. They love themselves and they love you too. And I'm being brought to a similar message, but flipped, from Power 1.5, I believe it was, where it's like when the honey of love is poured onto either of your wounds, there isn't a sting, or if there is a sting, there's an appreciation for that sting, because there's a recognition that it's pointing to an area, a wound that can receive further loving. So there's an equal desire for give and take and an equal desire for expansion, I want to say. Because with that message of the bee, it's like you're inviting of the sting. You're inviting of the honey and the sting. Yeah, there's such a balance with this connection of what you provide is well received, or what you're receiving is well provided. What you desire to receive is well provided, and not all. Fairies. There's a sense of magic. Orion. And wonderment. Yeah. It's making me think of like creation, transmutation, of like so much movement forwards. There's such a wholeness energy. It's like definitely two wholes. Like both of you feel like you're seeking a lover, not a solver. Like you're seeking a connection, not something not something just to connect to, but you're seeking something. You're seeking a collaboration. You're not seeking someone to complete you. You both feel like you hold a strong sense of completion within yourselves, which is the opposite of what narcissism and empathy from not empathy as a whole, but but the dynamic, the other half of narcissism. They're both halves. They're both feeling incomplete without one another, unable to be fully themselves. And this just feels like a fullness of neither of you have that desire. Even if you have some of those insecurities or some of those woundings, though I'm not seeing them, there's always this desire to see the other as their wholeness and to also see themselves as that wholeness. There's two separates, two wholes coming together. There feels like a lot of creativity, there feels like so much gain. And this could be a friendship too, or a business partner. I did speak a bit to that being. Speaking of like, this could be both you with a business, but maybe it could have that business energy, but with one of with the cards flipped round, like instead of just multiple beings, instead of the business from the self to the everything being business of the self, and then another business of the self coming together to create another business. Oh my god, words. How much energy, I wonder, did I spend in trying to get that out? Okay. I think I shall leave your reading there. It's kind of convoluted at the end. Angels. Blessed be. I love you, pile number 2.5. I'll see you when I see you. If I see you. When I see you. Bye bye. And let's turn the camera off and do pile 3 later. Welcome in. Pile 3 is the amethyst. So, to begin with, I feel like there's a worry from you about what you can give, and if you're giving enough, and if it's of value. There's also a lot of kind of messy energy, though it doesn't necessarily feel messy. So something about like the logic is there, but you're not really sensing it. Or you have a sense that it's there, but you don't fully grasp it. There's something about, like, it feels pure, it feels clean, but it's not. Okay. There's also something about finding something you had previously lost. And I want to note that this amethyst is a necklace, and it also is a necklace I'm being drawn to say that the previous owner found very painful to wear. Like, it made them feel very ill. So, but there's something around, like, it shouldn't. Or, like, in the mind, it shouldn't make them feel ill, but it does. And they accepted that. Okay. So there's a message from the previous owner of this. To trust your gut. Yes. There's the sense of power that comes from trusting your own perspective as opposed to what should be. Who cares about should be? Okay, let's get some cards. Yeah, interesting that I'm being drawn to the deck that I was least thinking about using for you, like, earlier. Oh yeah, plenty of these from Pile 2 or 2.5. It's the same day. Just after I've eaten my food. So there's a sense for some of you that you're opening something that you thought was closed, or you're using something, you're being called to use something that you thought was wrong, or that you thought you wouldn't be. It's like the one thing you thought was no could be a yes. And I feel like that could be quite painful to hear for some of you. And there's a bit of an invitation into that pain as to where it's coming from. Why is it painful? What trigger is that hitting? Okay. Let's get a bit of like a side card first. Or I feel like this is about the current pain that you may have experienced from that. Yeah, there's something about receiving, because the Divine Feminine is very receptive and it's very sensitive. I'm also noting 21, 2 to 1, a very creative number. And it's making me think of that energy of lost and now found. That message came from just before your pile. I found a pen I was looking for earlier. And it's like I had placed it in such a particular place. I had like placed it in a placement. And because I hadn't just like left it around hanging, because I had placed it somewhere particular, that's why I couldn't find it. And why I found it later. Interesting. Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine and Universal Love. Okay. I feel like there could be such a clear message with this. I'm not yet seeing it, but I'm feeling it, which I feel like is so up in your reading. Like, something to do with the senses. Yeah, and the way they came out, even though 22 comes after 21. Oh, that actually makes sense. The Divine Feminine, the second, like the Divine Masculine is to the left. It should have come out first, but it didn't. Divine Feminine came out first, and then Divine Masculine came out. And you could say that like the feminine, I can't get at what I was trying to say, but the message that I was seeing, that there was a resistance to saying, which could definitely be your resistance to hearing, is something of like the Divine Feminine was like, if you resonate with your situation having a feminine and a masculine, I feel the feminine was I keep hearing in the right, but I have such a resistance to saying that. Okay. And take that if it resonates. It doesn't have to be true for everyone here. Or it can... It's not supposed to be giving you an answer, in my opinion. This reading is supposed to be helping you see. Yeah, helping you find the answer that is the truth for you. It will never be to a detriment. And if it feels, or if you're receiving it as a detriment, then maybe that's not your message. But also you can question why you feel like it might be at a detriment, or why it feels hard to receive. Okay, we have some clarification on this. There's something of also like it being difficult, since there's like an asking to be vulnerable before there's protection. Maybe something that should be providing protection isn't. And so there's a need to trust that you know what feels protective and what feels toxic or like it's harmful. I feel like there could be illness to do with this situation. If something is making you feel ill, then there's a call to note that as a sign towards something not being in loving alignment for you. So we have sheep and rabbit, both very vulnerable animals, I'm feeling. Act with fortitude and cooperation and recognize your significance. I kind of feel like this is mirroring the sheep, so I'm going to leave that for a moment. And sneaked. Yeah, look at the colours. This pink and blue on the left, and this brown and dark blue / purple. And also the right feels quite rainbow-like. At the back of the deck we have dolphin. Live joyfully in the present. Yeah, there's something very There's something very strong about the present, and also balance or mirroring energies. It feels like... Okay, I'm gonna get confirmation. Okay. This reading feels very clean cut, and so I'm really noting when I'm feeling like saying this is really hard or this is all over the place, because I feel like that's your energy. There's something that's very clean cut, very yes or no, but you're feeling like it's not. I feel like you're not wanting to recognize a mirror. You're not wanting to recognize a sort of deception, or that you're feeling unsafe in a dynamic, or that you're not allowing for true play. I think that message of true play could be to do with others, like you're not allowing that in others and also in yourself. There's like a recognition of something you feel is lacking in the situation, and where that lack is, that you're recognizing in one area, it's also in the other area. It's in the outside and the inside. It may represent itself in different energies, but it's still present. And so there's still an action step that you can take. So the great thing about recognizing that there is more distortion than you previously thought is that you're able to, like within yourself, like within others and within yourself, is that you're able to take steps forwards. Because if there's more to see, then there's more to do. There's more to love. If there's more to see, there's more to love. This deck didn't really want to be used, but it kind of did. One message that wants to come through very strongly is, with time you will see. I feel like for a lot of you, this reading isn't a reading that's going to fully click something into place, but it's something that you'll hear and that will stay with you, or it doesn't have to stay with you, but it's, in a sense, planting a seed or a remembrance that will flourish as time goes by. And it's not really to do with time, it's to do with the willingness to integrate a certain truth. But you may find that with time, our perception of, as humans of time, that it becomes far easier. What I'm seeing from these cards is the two top cards are very in the feminine and the two lower are very in the masculine. But it kind of feels like the two top are innocent and the two bottom are causing destruction. We can kind of see with the snake card, like, the waves are so high, it kind of feels like the snake is causing a tsunami. And with that being related to emotions, it could be if there's emotional distress within your surroundings, whether that be within yourself or others, it feels like the lower is causing, the snake is causing that tsunami, that emotional distress. The lower of the two. I feel like it's both parties. I'm kind of seeing it like, and the golden Atlantean dragon reminds me of Atlantis, but primarily like the fall of Atlantis. So a negative view. It, like, power being used without consideration of the feminine. Like masculine power not being conducive of feminine love, feminine surrender. I'm having trouble seeing, I'm just really having trouble expressing it. I feel like you're really resistant to this. Maybe we'll get some more cards to do with your resistance. Let's get some of these as I speak. To do with the resistance, please. Yeah, the layout I'm seeing is these two are like this. So, and I'm seeing this like two parties. So one might identify more as masculine and one might identify more as feminine. And both are causing unbalance. There's a mirroring energy. There feels like there could be a tendency towards blaming the other, whereas both are equally as loving, equally as, like, say, in the right, and both are equally as unloving, say, in the wrong. It feels as though perhaps the masculine part of both parties or all parties, or just a single party, it can still be like that, The masculine part is the distorted part. The action. I want to say, for one, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to see a truth that you don't want to see. See, I'm seeing at the back, this is a very feminine energy. It's like the feminine is pure. The feminine energy is in its essence, but the masculine energy is what came out. This feels very masculine to me. The masculine energy is what is feared. There's a fear of, if I see the truth, I feel like you know a certain truth, you see a certain truth, but it's hard to admit because you're afraid that that means something, and you're afraid that what it means is pointing towards a sense of wrongness within you. It's like if you admit to actions you've taken that were out of alignment for yourself or for others, there's a fear that that means that you are wrong, or that you are unlovable, that it's not okay. There's a sense of, you're afraid that you will be criticized, or you will be abandoned for having done wrong, for having not known how to handle a situation, or for having placed projected feelings that weren't of love, weren't of true divinity, true acceptance of all, onto yourself or onto others. There's a fear that what you have done, perhaps, has created an equal sign to you being unworthy of love. So the message for you is, you're okay in your entirety in anything that you have said or done or experienced, and that any feelings of inadequacy have simply been projected onto you, and they don't have to be accepted. You can choose to have recognized any harm that you have caused, and recognize this as being okay. You can forgive yourself and forgive others too. Because this also could be a fear of recognizing that others have been in the wrong. I keep using that term even though I don't resonate with that. So that could be something that you really have on your mind, a sense of right and wrong, but particularly the wrongness. I feel like that's the fear of wrong. Because even if it's I feel like for most of you, it's you fear that you are wrong. So there's a sense of like, even if you are right, what is the fear of being wrong? Because that's a part of yourself that you can love, as a part of yourself that you can bring peace to, bring a sense of, actually, even if I do every single malevolent, wrong, quote-unquote wrong decision in the entirety of all that is, even if I make every single mistake possible, that's okay. And I still deserve love. I still deserve to be loved. I can still be nurtured and be taken care of. There's a strong sense of lacking, feeling like fearing lacking. I think it's a fear of lacking, and trying to search for the truth, or trying to search for validation that you were right, or that something was right, because you still feel as though there's a need to be right. Not because you actually want to find the truth, perhaps, but because you want so desperately the truth to be a certain way. So this isn't about what the truth is. This is about recognizing that no matter what the truth is, it is okay. And that every party, every aspect of yourself deserves a space of unconditional love, of no matter what happens, it's okay. No matter what happens, I will choose to support me and everyone in this situation. And that doesn't have to be supporting in connection with everyone, but it can be a support, a true compassion, love, want for everyone to be at their best, no matter what the circumstances are. I kind of want to say, no matter who you find yourself out to be, or who you find others out to be, and I heard the misdeeds that were done, this is a call to have acceptance for all of it. And I think a lot of that acceptance can come through an understanding of why. Like, why did that happen in the first place? And you can trace that back to very, very early on, if that helps. To see that everything was always passed down of trauma, from a state of trauma themselves, from I don't feel like I can be loved and be cared for in the way that I want to be loved and cared for if I don't do this, this, and this. And while choice is always prevalent, we can always choose the path of love, there's such a peace that can come when we understand that when we don't choose the path of love, it's from fearing that we can't choose that path, or that something wrong will happen. It's like there's a call to have compassion for the fear aspect that played a part in this, I feel. Whatever this is, and it could be an ongoing experience, or it could be something that has set in stone, been in the past. I don't think those words made sense, but they did energetically. Yeah, there is a soothing from pointing fingers to letting all fingers be pointed in every direction, saying everything is okay. I'm going to read the universal love card. And below that is the heart chakra. I love that. I love that. The heart. Okay, universal love. The frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. I feel like for some of you there's a fear of connecting with someone in particular, because you fear that that love you feel in connecting with them shows... For a lot of you, I feel like it shows that you misjudged them as unloving, when in actuality they were loving. And that's okay. It's okay to have misjudged. It's okay to be misjudged, and it's okay to misjudge. The likelihood of why there was misjudging was because there was misjudging to that which was judging. Like, the one who did the misjudging was also probably earlier in life the one who was misjudged. And even if that's not the case, it's still okay. I love this universal love. I'm going to read it again. And hold it up. There's something about words too, but words with meaning. Perhaps words were said that had meaning that wasn't true. And I can kind of see that going in both ways. Perhaps words that sounded loving but weren't, or words or expressions that sounded unloving actually were. Either part, there could have been a trigger involved that was brought on because of past situations that caused a misunderstanding or a fear response. So, the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other. Connection, yeah. I feel like a pain when I say that, but it's like a love pain. It's like the pain of feeling loved, of feeling the love we feel for another and from that other. So the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. I'm going to leave that there so we can see the heart chakra as well as the universal love. But I kind of want to put it this way. I just feel like universal love wants to be beside the crystal. I'm going to call him the crystal of illness. Hey, look, it goes 444. Yippee! I kind of feel like that's your reading. I'm going to draw a bit. And then we'll see, maybe we'll have more cards after that, but for now let's just see what comes through in a sketch lingo. A doodle, snoodle, poodle. Ah! Okay, so I ripped it, but there were two that came out together. I feel like there's like an equal accountability thing here. Something like that. Or that sense of mirroring, or simply that this is about you and another. Something about connection as opposed to separation. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, perhaps you chose a separation, but you're in connection, or you're like you saw something as separate, but it was together. It was mirrored or in cooperation, or it was taking both parts into consideration. There's just a message of look at the connection, look at the love there. Look at the other, or the both. Okay. I'm gonna move this just in case the ink leaks through. I feel like there's 0 chance of that happening. But I'm still moving it. I feel like that might be what you did. Like you moved someone, like you let go of someone perhaps, but they were wanting connection, but you thought that they weren't, or you thought that they were being deceptive, but actually they were just shedding a painful truth. That truth being loving, but still maybe difficult to hear. Okay. I'm feeling dragon energy before I go to do it. Yeah, what I'm seeing from this is a love. Like, I'm kind of seeing this, like, both parties, or all parties. I'm feeling that, like, this is you and another. Both of you wanting love, wanting connection. But it's like because this looks like a heart to me. But it's like the way the second one did the heart, did the line to form the heart, may have triggered the first one who formed the heart, because then I did these lines which kind of felt like going away. What was there to say to that? I feel like some of you are very emotional and being very drawn into that emotion. It's kind of hard to concentrate. I feel like you may have been running from this truth, and now it maybe has got to the point where you can't run from it, because, or you can try, but there's a sense of you can't look at anything else. Like, this is so in your energy. Like, I just want to be here with you and sit with this. Connection. There was or there is love here. And that's not trying to push you into any action, but I think seeing the truth is what will bring peace to you. What will allow you to finally see again or feel again. Yet some of you may really resonate with apathy, or having been in a long period of depression. Like, this could be very, very long. Like, you may have kind of forgotten to feel, or forgotten how to feel. Like, you haven't been with your heart for a very long time, and perhaps this person, this being, triggered that heart within you, triggered that love feeling. And I feel so much like that you may have just taken that love as rejection. You may have taken that love as pain, because that love may have equated to a time in childhood where that was the case, where what was supposed to be loving was actually pain-inducing. You could relate this to a parental figure, a mother who is supposed to be nurturing, perhaps, like with this crystal energy at the start. Perhaps what you felt like should have been nurturing, this mother figure for some of you, was actually toxic, was actually... And I used that a couple times in your reading, and that's not like a strong part of my vocabulary. Which I think goes to show the pain you've experienced from them, or from something within your life that then I feel like caused you to shut down and caused life to be far more difficult. And then when the opposite of that difficulty, the opposite of no emotion came into your life, it feels like it brought up so much within you. And I think that emotion was love. But it stung. It hurt. It was hard to deal with. And I think for most of you, it was hard to accept. It was hard to be able to believe it as true. It was hard to feel like it was okay for you to have this love. I'm now seeing this in the other way, like, let's put that to the side. So, you know how I said these two kind of went like this? And I'm feeling for a lot of you, you might identify as the Divine Masculine. I'm going to read it that way. Feel free to swap things around if that doesn't fit for you. So, I'm feeling like this snake that I said, like that brought up this tidal wave, it's like you read it as being malevolent because it brought up so much emotion, so much like tumultuous emotion. But Snake is about transformation. And I feel like perhaps the downfall came after the tumultuous emotion bringing up, and there could have been a sort of self-sabotage with this. I'm just going to change position one sec. And there could have been that. There could have been a pain that was brought up within you that caused you to change paths, or caused a self-sabotage of sorts. And self-sabotage simply meaning that you chose fear over love. And again, that's okay. But the acknowledgement of that, I got this earlier, the phrase, the truth will set you free. I think it's only a difficult truth to hear if you feel like it means you're no longer worthy of love. But you are always worthy of love. I think for some of you it's a recognition that you do want something, you do want love. But you're afraid that if you choose that you want that means you can no longer have it. But you are always deserving of love. For some of you, it could even be that if this is about a person who has gone now, it could be that you're afraid of admitting that you want them because you're not sure if you'll be able to have them. And the message isn't a yes, you can have them, it's a yes, you can have someone just as loving. And maybe for a lot of you that is this particular person, but it doesn't have to be, and that I don't feel like that is what you really want. It could completely be in alignment with what you completely want. It could be what you completely want, but I feel like drawing your attention back to the emotion that they bring up within you, that is what you want. That feeling of love, of non-apathy, of that feeling of life. Let's get a couple more cards for that. I'm actually wanting to touch every one of my decks. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, it's like I want to touch all the decks and then come back here. Or maybe that's what you've experienced, like you've tried everything and you always come back to this feeling of love. I feel like no more can be said. Let's put this back up here. I think I might end your reading there. I'll sit with you for a couple minutes though. Or a couple seconds. Were those two cards in view? Kind of. I had more room than I thought. I wonder if you have a sense of perfectionism. Like I was wanting to align I didn't, but I was wanting to line everything perfectly. And if you do, then there's a little bit of that questioning again of like, do you want it to be perfect because you genuinely want it to be perfect, or because you fear if it's not perfect? I want to leave you on it's okay. And I say this in many readings, but it's so true. It's so true that unconditional love exists. That there's never a need to prove yourself. That you can always be accepted. And that can start with yourself. You can choose that it's okay. That you can choose that you accept you. With an open heart. Not from that mind, but from that feeling of knowing that it's okay. And I feel like for some of you, the truth is that it was always okay. And that you're now accepting that truth. I love you, pile 3. I'm going to end your reading there. So, bye-bye. I'll just move these cards away now. And I was gonna maybe do it, like I wasn't turning the camera off yet because sometimes I like doing 0.5 piles. But I brought the crystal away. So I feel like there is no pile 3.5 for you. And that feels so significant because that's this feeling. It's like there was never a need for more. It was the ability to accept what you had. The ability to recognize your current self as enough, as loving. There's a sense of falling into love with you. And that there's no need for more. We don't need to get more cards. We don't need to get more information. Your heart is enough. Your heart is all the keys you need. Okay, I do love you very much, and bye-bye.